You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
A hush falls upon the room at my request.
What painting?
Oh my god, what? And lo and behold, the painting is gone. Okay, that wasn't a painting. The fuck? In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression. Oh my god, it was a mirror. Hello everyone, this is Minty Foxu and welcome back to The Letter. We are now playing as Hannah, right? And I think this is like prequel to everything that happened before Isabella. So now we are going to see them go to the mansion and their point of view of that aspect. And yeah! Okay, now let's go to the Ermengarde mansion. Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion, I see his eyes light up in a genuine interest. Apologizing is the last thing on my mind. The whole affair with the Ermengarde mansion is certainly an interesting experience. The place has been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claim to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself looks like something befitting a fairy tale or a period place. It is tastefully decorated, and a little bit of love and attention. I'm sure it can be a place Luke and I can call home. And the number of other prospective buyers that have come from the powerful and wealthy of Luxburn certainly did not disappoint, making the estate a prime property. The Lees are amongst the group. We went with the Rose Woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Unfortunately for every one of them, the Wrights are interested in buying. Oh god, we finally see like Isabella and Rose from this point of view, and Isabella is just like, what are you doing? She looks a little bit different in this, drawing style. It's interesting seeing her, which was us. But yeah, what's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabel. What is her problem? I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment she is scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale. Then she is panicking over some sort of prank letter or another.
Dear me, is Isabel alright?
It is apparent, with the way she shakes and by the pallor of her skin, something is really shaking her up.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
I'm worried, but it will be best if she attended to by someone more familiar to her, like her partner. But even then, the girl refuses Rose's offered drink and looks like she's ready to make a run for it.
I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
And she does so, just as I predicted, and her partner follows with like a concerned mother. There is an awkward air among us, as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. The others murmur and gossip with each other, speaking of a poor daft girl and telling the tale to whoever was not audience to act in the first place. It doesn't take long for the woman, Rose, to return and pull us aside into the study for what rightfully assumed is damage control. Rose invites Marion in too, hoping to apologize in her as well. But the woman refuses, saying it's not one of her clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose, and Luke, and the last alt, eager to make himself comfortable in the study, he's not doubt already claimed as his own.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young, and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head. And it must be this terrible heat, too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Are you sure it is wise to just let her go like that? Where is the poor dear? She might get hurt.
Hannah's actually a lot sweeter than I thought. I thought she was kind of spiteful and stuff, but I think she's just, what's the word? Ignorant. That's the word I'm looking for. She's blissfully ignorant. Like, she does care, but she doesn't mean to be like, she's just ignorant.
She's more likely to hurt somebody else, given what just happened.
I told her to sit down and take a break. Already rang someone to pick her up, too.
Oh, they rang Ash, maybe.
That might be for the best, dear. But please, we're here to talk about the mansion, yes? Why, I absolutely adore it. Don't you, Luke? Some of the rooms will certainly have to be repurposed. We want to change the appliances and have Marianne lead on the decor, but the whole thing is just lovely.
I guess. It's certainly a lot roomier than our penthouse.
You just want the what's it called, wine cellar?
Exactly! Lots of space for guests, parties, a lot of room for little ones to run around too.
Oh, does she want children and he doesn't?
Let's not discuss that right now, Buttercup.
That's exactly what's going on.
Anyway, I do think it would be a shame to let this mansion slip past us.
But you haven't even finished touring the house.
Well, we like what we've seen.
I'm making her job easier for her, am I not? No need for loans or long price negotiations. We can just sign a contract and close the deal. Really, you'd think the woman will be more than happy about an easy sale. I know how these estate agents work, how long they have to wait, how much they have to spend even just for a single sale. Why, she should be jumping for joy right now. I'm sure the commission on this mansion is nothing to sneeze at, even if she has to split with that Isabel girl.
Do you think we could have horses here?
Yes, those do sound nice, love.
She's just like, whatever will make you happy so I can buy this place.
Anyway, if anyone else is interested in buying this property, I assure you that I'm able and willing to give a better offer.
A vineyard would be nice. Or maybe
Vinny, you're still thinking about alcohol, aren't you? Ugh.
And we do reward our people quite generously, Rose. So if I were you, I would start on that paperwork.
Helicopter pad.
What the hell, dude? I pause. And there's a small moment of complete silence where Rose and I just stare incredulously at it is an unspoken understanding, a rule between the two of us that we should just put on an act. With our social standing, where image matters, and it's also important to avoid making enemies. And also to follow this rule is an easy feat for me. From youth, I have been well-trained, social butterfly, gracious and graceful. Luke, on the other hand...
Oh, wait, what, Luke? No, what? Whatever would we need a helipad for?
Well, he likes to play the fool sometimes, even if he is anything but. As he throws me a wiry smile, I shake my head and beckon Rose over. This is to be our home, and there's nothing she or anyone else can change my mind. This is a place that speaks of power and importance, and at the same time of safety and comfort. Perhaps we can have our family here. There's definitely no better gift than this for our special date. Why, everything here is absolutely wonderful. Well, except for this ugly painting in the study. Oh my god. That's who Isabel saw. It's that woman. It looks like a bad fake of Edvard Munch painting.
Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing price. If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%. I doubt anyone can, of course.
Damn.
Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price, and we can sign all the paperwork now.
I guess, if that's what you want. That won't be any trouble.
Rose is like, okay.
I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think we're good here.
That smile.
We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
That smile, Rose. It's so creepy and fake. Just stop.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne? Oh, right. She's been waiting outside the study this whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move the little mansion project forward.
Please do.
There's a look of apprehension when the other woman enters the room. When she was left by herself, I bet you she saw shit. Yet, like a professional, I see the moment when she steels herself and masks her worry. Admirable.
We have this project, then?
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand. And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne? I guess we can send Johans to help you out. You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
A hush falls upon the room at my request.
What painting?
Oh my god, what? And lo and behold, the painting is gone. Okay, that wasn't a painting. The fuck? In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression. Oh my god, it was a mirror. That means the ghost was like behind her or in front of her? I don't know. The fact that that was a mirror is actually really creepy.
Odd. Well, no matter. Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are simply far too busy to meet up.
Free up my schedule, question the need for a meeting. Or perhaps maybe I should, I'll free up my... Thing is, if I free up my schedule, then my husband's gonna be like, I'm busy in my life. If I question the need for a meeting, it can also cause issues, though. Like, if it was me, I would free up my schedule, just because why not?
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you. I don't really need another maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
Besides, my house has a higher priority over book club. Why, we can hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it all will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern-day writers can match up to classics. I might as well clear up the rest of the week to handle whatever affairs buying this house requires of me. Any social activity can be put off until the Ermengarde, or rather, the Wrights Mansion great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then. It's a date.
It's really not.
You're so awkward.
All right.
You
Monday. 10 o'clock sharp.
I feel like... I don't know, the way she said that, is she in awe of me? I can't tell.
We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who was even awake at that unholy hour? I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear, without outright saying it, that we are now own this house. By the time we left the mansion ground, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
I feel elation when I hear those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve his attention and approval, but in the privacy of closed doors he would often express his grievances. He neither censors himself in front of me nor spare me of his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
Ugh. You forgot about it last year too. My God. What is wrong with men? Why? I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
I'm gonna cry.
Yes.
You're gonna make me cry.
You don't like it?
I do. But I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Pontony Bay, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched on for miles and miles, as far as the eyes can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was well a behaved child, and the only time I ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the water, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sandcastles. The day before we married, I told Luke I wanted a house on the beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those things came true. 7 years ago.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I guess that's decent. I miss the sea. Sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horribly fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up that I had for dinner, and I hate the acrid stench that fills the laboratory. Is she pregnant? The burning sensation at the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I can feel another wave of nausea come up when the door opens.
Hannah, what are you doing so early out of bed?
Yeah, she's pregnant, dude, because she's throwing up in the morning.
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
Nope. That's all I managed to say before vomiting again into the porcelain throne. Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I feel bad for poor Hannah. From outside perspective, you didn't know she was this kind of person. The last time I've had a horrible morning wrenched into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameful, I had thrown away months of frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. I didn't even retain any of the connections I had made from that time. Sure, they still know me, and I still know them, and we still do business, from time to time. But I've lost touch with anyone who didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any friends I had when I was still Hannah Evans. Teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, old conquest like Jack.
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting.
Oh, but at least he's being nice. I wasn't expecting that. I guess he does care for her. Okay. He's just stupid sometimes, like I guess most guys are.
I'm disgusting.
Oh, this is sad, sweet, kind of mixed emotions. Luke sits down next to me on the toilet to hold my hair, even as I cough up more fish. This is the most romantic vomiting experience I've ever had. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it? I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
He starts chuckling, and soon enough, he's in a fit of laughter. Oh, we're laughing over a toilet of vomit. This is so sweet. The scene happening next to the loo filled with sick just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it literally makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it though, as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing. Shut up.
When he would not stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my own throat, and I forget whatever ill feelings plagued me. We are just husband and wife, laughing together at a funny face and the little things in life. I let myself go because I know that these moments will not last forever. But if I just know the terrible things that are to come for us, I would have wished with everything I have then and there that laughter stayed. October 26th, Wednesday.
Hiya! Come on now!
Oh. The place is bustling with movers carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trucks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handling carelessly or gets lost. Stolen.
Careful now! I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings.
Damn!
Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
This guy's funny. I don't know.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma Hot. No, you there, put that down. You
Nope.
do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
Oh my god, okay, I feel like my brother would mock this guy so well. My brother Full Moon Seth would mock the shit out of this guy. I can see the expiration and I have to send the foreman an apologetic glance. Even Johanna rolls his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johans and I have gotten used to it. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks a little bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One thing out of place, one thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let your Hans and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
Yes. Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs into our bedroom. This place has been arranged first so we can get some rest no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. I'm definitely glad I just get to lie down on a soft, comfy bed after what I've been busy this morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting his move done is all tiring on its own, and to think I had a whole day of this ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with a
Well,
sigh.
I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hannah. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture.
They would.
Besides, you don't even like cats.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess? I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute.
They are not messy, dude. Dogs are not messy. Rarely, only if you get like a puppy. If you get a puppy, okay, they're messy and stuff. But generally, they're not messy.
If you think about it, a cat would be better.
Man, I have both. Okay, I have a cat and a dog. And I would say my cat is far messier because he likes to knock everything down. And you can't leave any food out because he will just get into it and throw it all over the floor. At least my dog doesn't do that, man. It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about these sort of things, to joke around as if we're teenagers again with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest to goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time as of late, and I can only see it as a sign of good things to come.
All good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing the line. I knew it, he doesn't want children. You can already tell from like his face before he was like, don't you dare talk about that. I didn't say that I'm a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
Okay, dude, to be fair, you married this woman, you knew she wanted kids. And what did you expect? That normally when you marry people and you have a family and you already knew she wanted kids, it's gonna come up.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of.
Don't get angry.
Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah.
Yeah, but you guys have the money for it at least. If you needed to, you could hire maids. It's not like you don't have the money and finances to take care of it.
We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
I can see that happening, so yeah, you probably shouldn't have a kid with this man. He'll be a great father, probably shouldn't. Oh, this is hard. If you say he'll be a great father, it might like warm him up to the idea, but since he's already super opposing it, you might want to apologize. I might push my luck here. I might try to be like, but you'd be good at it, and try to convince him. Though I feel like that's not gonna work. But I'm gonna try.
Carly likes you well enough.
The mention of our little goddaughter places a conflicted look on his face. Sometimes it is cute when he denies having a soft spot for the little girl. But then, sometimes it's sad. It makes me wonder what happened to make him so poorly of himself in this regard.
Yes, well, it's Kylie. The tyke likes everybody and, on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great, but if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day. Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
Okay, it turned bad, but you know, I tried. I have never heard him talk about his father in anything but a business context. I recall Damien Wright kept hearing about him from my own father, even before I met Luke. The business would be praised him for running a tight ship, all until one mistake led to a great loss for the enterprise. It was then that the news of Luke Wright, prodigy son and successor to the old man, started to show up, and he aided in its recovery and growth, up until the Great Recession. I'm getting a bit off track. Regardless, I have never heard him talk about his father like that. Would want to talk about family.
I think you'll be a great father.
There's a smile no matter how half-hearted it may be. Oh, that's great. At least we made him smile. It's progress. I do really think that. He might not be a good, honest man. A part of me knows that, though I try to silence it. But I know Luke well enough that he will be a better father than either Damien Wright or Henry Evans. I love my father, but he never had the time.
If it is any consolation, I think you'd be a decent mother.
Oh, thank you. That's sweet. On the other hand, I had never heard of his mother. A silence that I was both comfortable and uncomfortable. There is familiarity in each other's company despite the awkwardness that has transpired. Defenses amassed down without anyone else looking. We are both together and alone in this quiet, but a crash from downstairs startles us both out of the... He's not gonna like that. Luke lets out a heavy sigh before coming up to his feet and straightening his jacket.
I'll have to attend to that then.
Be good, darling. And watch out for your blood pressure.
And stop drinking so much. He gives me a kiss on the cheek before leaving, while I lay there in a daze. Alone as per usual, I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just laying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I've rolled over to lie on my stomach at this point, with my face buried into the pillows, when there's a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work, as my voice comes from the other side.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Oh. Wait, is that today? Oh, yes. People had caught wind of our new mansion the very moment they left the open house. Luke had boasted he had acquired the property in no time, and allowed a photo shoot for an entire interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications, and it took longer than it usually does.
In
for
a
us.
minute, Hansi.
Johannes, if you could at least make it through the end.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
The mansion grounds have been one of the first things to be fixed up, aside from the bedroom. Although it's still a work in progress, it had been a promising start, and I can already see the flower patches. Luke's favorite why did I say dandelions? Luke's favorite daffodils stand out easily, having been transplanted from the pot that used to litter the rooftops of our penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscaper of this way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. Oh, it is in the gardens that I see him standing near the flower in quiet admiration. Dude, it's Zach! He is hard to miss, the hulk of a man that clearly did not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase has with him makes him look even larger. It is a peculiar sight, seeing someone who looks like he does little handling delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am.
Oh, cool.
Hope you weren't waiting too long.
It's cool how all the characters end up connecting.
But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
The one and only. Welcome, welcome to Maison de Right. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed, but it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product. Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hannah! If I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah.
Oh, wow.
Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright. Hannah.
Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with the camera and experience in this industry, at the very least. He is kind and courteous, listening and following as he leads him around the house. A really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For one, I ask what the bags are for. They are quite the magician's toolkit. From inside he has procured several items to assemble the interior with. Bowls of fruit, lemons, trays of peppermills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, glass canisters filled with colorful nuts. Grains are brought in from the kitchen setting. For the bathroom there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in the large backpack and suitcases.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights. Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot,
Oh, it better.
We go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackle the ones that movers have no business in anymore. The ballroom needs little preparation, well, with its grand design. Although there is still some trouble at first with the wide open space and the pictures being backlit. It is in the kitchen that Zachary props come in handy, considering how Jonas kept the place so neat and sterile. One can practically eat off the floor. We carry on, touring the house and taking pictures while we can, the exception of the rooms, which we have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at these photos yet. Funnily enough, he is using a traditional camera, not even know his film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft and that I'm not worried about botched photographs. I imagine photography must be a cathartic for him, just in how at ease he looks while he's taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes far to talk about the terminologies like shutter speeds, aperture, when I ask about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it's made, much like I watch artists paint on their canvas, but just watching someone passionately practice their craft such as exciting on its own. Going through this many rooms has been quite the exercise for both of us. Despite that, he has been so nice, and I find myself putting on a best smile. But it's as we're taking pictures in the foyer that everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And I have not been paying attention. I wouldn't have even noticed. It is merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. His finger doesn't move to release the shutter. Oh my god. Oh, does he see it too? There's like sweat going down his face. And this thing is like rubbing my face. Yet he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face. Gaze still firmly fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake, and there is light sheen on the sweat on his forehead.
Zachary?
Oh, I don't feel that? Okay. No response.
Zach, is something the matter?
Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at something behind me from shaking his head. Turning around, though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something I saw. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggle to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back and an indescribable tightness around my throat. Everything stops, and everything starts as I manage to choke out.
If you're sure.
I don't know what just happened. It was probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine, and he said he's fine. We continue at the same pace as before, although there's an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least, not all the time.
What is it that you want to do then?
Maybe I've been out of line, sticking my nose into other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so as I see his shoulders slump and the easygoing air he has fades away. He looks torn over whether he wants to talk about it or
Films,
not.
documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
What thing?
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Foxu very much.
Oh.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Very funny.
So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Blue Foxu is all about?
He hesitates, but when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills it all out. Blue Foxu, la plus sombre des noirs britanniques. Dark blue, the darkest hour of the black British. Yeah, I was gonna say, I did notice British in there. And noir, obviously, is black. And I did take French in high school, but it's a long ass time ago, and I don't remember how to speak it nor read it, so. He speaks with passion of one who has gone through very matter he is concerned with. There is a conviction, knowledge, and experience in his speech. Why, I wouldn't have told him that he is an amazing speaker, if only I wasn't so engrossed listening. Prejudice, discrimination in schools and in the workplace, lesser chances for opportunity, and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. He spoke of blacks and people of color in general still being treated like second-class citizens, all because of the color of their skin. It is all just positively riveting and sad, and it comes to the point where he soon loses steam. He looks abashed, realizing what he had just done.
Sorry, I just got so carried away and...
It's fine. It is really so fascinating to watch people talk about their passion after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes.
Uh-huh. Thanks, I guess.
I want to say that I understand where he's coming from, but I really don't, do I? I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I lived a charmed life, and it hasn't been perfect, but the difficulties I've been through pale in comparison to what others expect on a daily basis. I certainly don't know who I would have faced were it any different. Would I have still met Luke, and would he still have loved me, or if any less?
What was your home like? These things you talk about, it sounds like you... Well, I don't mean to pry, I mean.
Live with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. And well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class.
Oh.
I didn't get pushed around or anything straight up. Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around. But a pencil and notebook would go missing, you know?
Oh, that I knew. Children can be so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards and the stolen item is not a pencil but an explosive heirloom. Expensive heirloom.
So what about you? How you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive.
It's nice, I suppose.
You suppose? Not big enough?
What? No, oh, don't be a bully. It's just that...
I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
I was a little girl, all dolled up and treated like a fragile porcelain, when nursemaids waiting on me hand and foot. All the material possessions anyone could ever want. I could ask for on whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. But I barely saw my parents. Just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they needed to next. I saw them more often on the telly or in the papers than I ever did in person.
I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls and big halls, but nobody in it. Not really. It makes you think how alone you are.
A pensive mood overcomes us, and there's a moment where neither of us are sure of how to go on from there. Things have gotten a little too personal, yet isn't wholly uncomfortable, like as if we've been friends before.
Well, that's normal, ain't it? You just moved here. You'll make home out of it yet.
It certainly makes it easy to believe that. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one. Just as large and extravagant, and just as empty. I hope he's alright. I hope he's
So,
right.
Monsieur le photographe, you've covered the one and only Ermengarde mansion. What's next on the agenda?
The interview?
Boring. It's an interior design and housing magazine.
And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house.
Honor Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah, blah. Boring. You know what they should print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Bleu Foncé, the darkest hours of the Black British. I recommend you watch it. Those are the things that people should know about. What do they care if I use a purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen?
Yeah, I like this girl. Her personality is great, actually.
People, right?
Oui. People are shite.
I like her personality a lot. She's very genuine.
What do you think? Do I look good with this angle?
I strike a pose while he's being busy, looking taken aback for a moment, probably not expecting me to just go and say such a crash word. But he recovers quickly, and after snapping a few shots, he grins.
Yeah, vous êtes belle. You want copies of these ones?
Yes, please. So, the big boy knows French. You must have wooed a few ladies. Unless you're into gents. Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance.
Though I don't know about quoting fancy poetry, but I've made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine.
Can you cook your best?
I can cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe.
C'est magnifique.
It has been too long since I had a nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is certainly not a good friend. And although we've just met Zachary, he's the sort we can probably befriend anyone. He's a comfortable person to be around. A bit too comfortable. Okay, guys. I'm gonna end this episode here. We got to see a lot of the mansion, and I didn't even realize Zach would have that much communication with the Wrights, so that was super interesting. Thank you for watching this episode of The Letter. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out my other videos on my channel. And yeah, thank you for watching. Minty Foxu, Papa Chew. This is sad, sweet, kind of mixed emotions. Luke sits down next to me on the toilet to hold my hair, even as I cough up more fish. This is the most romantic vomiting experience I've ever had. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.